So I just want to say peace and blessings to everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of Shamari Speaks His Mind, audio version one. I was watching something the other day, a series on Netflix called American Crime, and I thought it was a very well. I thought the series was put together very well. I thought it was very good acting, very good directing, very good writing. I believe Regina King actually won some sort of award for that show as well. But it got me to thinking when I was watching the show. It got me to thinking about people's lives. They say art imitates life, or life imitates art. I'm not really sure which way it goes, but it got me to thinking about people's lives and how we should really be grateful for what's going on in our life, because there's so much out there going on in the world with different people, and people have real serious problems. I know I got this in my mind from watching this on TV, or Netflix rather. But the reality is, people out there in the world are facing real issues, and a lot of times, we get down on ourselves and we think about how our problems are, extremely hard. And granted, each man's problem is going to be the biggest in the world because it's his problem to handle. But we really have to, I don't want to say we, because I can't speak for anybody else but myself. I really think about what's going on in my life. And I watch shows like American Crime, and I really think to myself, these particular stories may not be exact stories, but there are situations and instances that may be very similar to situations that they play on these shows that are happening to people in their real lives currently. You know what I mean? And I think about the little stresses that I go through, and I'm not going to call them stresses. I mean, in comparison to these other problems, they are little. I mean, when you look at them, but in the midst of having to deal with them, they're not little to me. But I look at it and I have to think. The short version of this long story is that I really have to speak to myself and tell myself that I really have to be grateful. I really have to be grateful for, what it is that I have. I really have to be grateful for even the bad times that I'm going through, because what they say is bad times make you strong. If you get through it, then you're much stronger. Experiences in your life help you move forward. But I really have to say to myself that things really could be worse. I'm thinking about paying a bill. I'm late on a bill. I'm just giving a hypothetical example. You're stressed about being late on a bill. Mind you, there are young girls out there being molested by their parents, so they run away and then they get involved in sex trafficking. Now that might, you might feel like, well, that's a TV show, but I'm sure that has happened. And of course it happens. You see people getting arrested on the news for sex trafficking all the time. So it's definitely somebody's reality. And when you put that in comparison to, I might have to pay my cell phone bill a couple of days late. You really have to, I really have to sit down and put things into perspective. You have a roof over your head. I was actually just talking to my mom the other day. We were on the phone, a couple of nights ago. Whenever it was really cold outside, I spoke to her. She sent me a text, and she asked me if I got home. So I replied to her text, and I was like, I was just about to pick up the phone and call you. So I called her, and the first thing she said to me, man, it's cold out there. I feel so sorry for the homeless people, the people that are outside right now in the cold and don't have any place to go. She was like, I feel so sorry for the homeless people because imagine that being, I think it was, negative whatever degrees. It was freezing. I felt the wind blowing against my window. But she was saying, just think about all these people that are homeless, and homeless people, sometimes they still people and they still have a sense of pride, so they don't want to go to a shelter, so they rough it out. She was giving me examples of people that rough it out on the trains. So you think about that. Think about, -2 degree weather. Somebody doesn't have a place to go, doesn't have a place to live, and they got everything that they possibly own in life with them in the cold. Shit gets real, as they say in the hood. But anyway, like I was saying, this really got, I really started thinking about this from watching American Crime. And I really started thinking about how grateful that I have to be, that I should be, for what it is that I have. Even though I think about wanting more and not being satisfied with what I have. Not being satisfied and not being grateful are two different things. You want to be grateful, of course. I want to accomplish more in life, of course, but I always have to remind myself that I have to be grateful for what it is that I do have and what it is that I've already accomplished. I don't necessarily have to be satisfied, but I have to be grateful. You know what I mean? So this, once again, folks, was another, I don't want to say another because this is actually the first installment of Shamari Speaks His Mind, the audio version. And I want you guys to stay tuned because, anytime I get something on my mind, I'm going to, press this record button and come and talk to you guys. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out on Facebook. Shamari Speaks His Mind, 2019. Stay tuned because we got a lot more audio books coming on. All right? Peace and love, everybody. Showbeat TV. Shamari Speaks His Mind. Stay tuned. Peace.